Satanism represents a rejection of Christianity and other Abrahamic religions. Satan is a figure which appears in the texts of religions such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Satan is also known as the deceiver that represents temptation and the one who leads humanity astray. While Satanism has a very loose definition, it can be divided into two main practices. Theistic Satanism, which includes the worship of Satan and the belief that Satan is a real supernatural being which individuals can worship and contact. They believe that Satan is a real entity whom individuals can contact and convene with. Atheistic Satanism considers Satanism to be a symbol of individualism rather than Satan as a real being. It rejects the existence of gods and other supernatural beings and does not involve the worship of the devil or any other deities. Contemporary Satanism was founded by Anton LaVey, who was described as a born showman and was labelled by both journalists and Satanists as the father of Satanism, the St. Paul of Satanism, and the evilest man in the world.
This is a very selfish religion. We believe in greed, we believe in selfishness, we believe in all of the lustful thoughts that motivate man because this is man's natural feelings. If you're going to be a sinner, be the best sinner on the block. If you're going to do something that's naughty, do it. And
Satan.
Or Satanists. Satanism.
Satanic. And Satanic.
Satan.
I was impregnated by my who was costumed as the devil, and they created this ritual around the idea that they were impregnating me with Satan and I was carrying Satan's child.
Throughout the years, many horrific and transgressive crimes are believed to have been committed by devil worshippers. However, sometimes society creates new forms of deviance to use as scapegoats in a time of social tension or in a breakdown of society. Satanic ritual abuse came to light in the US in the early 1980s and was heightened by publications such as Michelle Remembers. This book, written by Lawrence Pasda and Michelle Smith, documents Smith's memories recovered during therapy of being sexually and physically abused by a satanic group. Although later being discredited, the book added to the moral panic of the time.
Carried around in this circle and then brought to an altar with a man who'd already been nailed to a cross.
It was similar to the crucifixion of Christ, where his side was pierced. And my uncle forced my hand to go into that incision and to feel what was inside there.
I was pushed and shoved off the altar and also forced to cut this child that I had just given birth to and then eat part of its arm and then throw it into the fire of life.
And then I was covered with feces and sewer sludge and ashes of dead babies, and I was put in and out of a furnace. And I screamed and cried.
Due to publicity, the fear of Satanism led to satanic panic, and hundreds of stories mimicking satanic ritual abuse emerged. Over 14 cases of daycare sex abuse occurred by the early 1990s detailing satanic abuse. One of the most infamous cases was the McMartin preschool trial in Los Angeles, which concluded to be one of the most expensive trials in US history, equating to $15 million. Following an allegation made by someone who was deemed insane at the time and who was also an ex-wife of a teacher at the preschool, claimed her son was abused by teachers there. Although 7 people were arrested and were charged 115 counts of child abuse, which then later expanded to 321 accounts, including 48 children, only 2 were taken to trial and were both acquitted in the end. After several years, many of the children who were initially interviewed in the case confessed that they were pressured into giving evidence. Thus forth, The legitimacy of satanic involvement in these cases can be questioned, and most ritualistic crime in the West can be classified as pseudo-satanic, linked to devil worship rather than Satanism, in that it might be committed by non-Satanists, mimicking cultural representation of occult crime.